Did you see Nicki Minaj in Tekashi 6ix9ine or Takeshi, whatever the fuck his name is? I can't work out if people like him or not. Do people actually listen to that shit and go like, yes, yes, oh man.
Somewhere unseen.
Some seems like that. Welcome to chapter 155 of Fantasies of a Fair Fellow. How are we all doing? That one was sent in by listener Ash. Thank you very much, Ash. If you guys can't tell, I'm feeling good. You know that song that's like, feeling good, like I should. That's me right now. Like I damn should. You know what? I'm feeling real good today. I don't know why. Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt the episode so early, but I just don't think I described how good I was really feeling. Like I touched on it and I said I'm feeling good like I should, but guys, I was feeling so good, and the only way to give you some perspective of just how good I was feeling was here's the sound test that I did right before I hit record on the episode. Okay, this is how good I was feeling. Woohoo! Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Yes! The audio is working. Yes, that's so good. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! That is how good I was feeling. I just wanted you guys to know. Now back to the episode. Feeling blessed because I'm not stressed, or whatever he says. Dude, I love those songs that are just like so simple. It's like Pharrell's Happy because I'm happy, come along if you feel like a, you know, and everyone's just like, cool, it's a happy song. You know, feeling good. I just want to know, like, because obviously that's very basic. Feeling good like I should. It's not genius. No, it's not rocket science. You know, he didn't reinvent the wheel there. He's just gone with good, should, great. That works, and it's a hit. And he's gone. I think the second part of the chorus is like blessed and stressed. I just wonder what else was thrown around in the writing room. You know, if someone came in with some bigger ideas, but then they just were like, you know what, let's just dumb it down. Like someone came in with, you know, maybe some other stuff that's simple, like, you know, feeling great because I ate. And then they're like, okay, that's good. Being hungry does suck. And, you know, you don't want to get hangry. That's the worst. And then another guy was like, no, guys, I got it. Let's just up the IQ up in this bitch. And then he's like, feeling slightly above par because I got my automobile fixed, which is a car. And then they were like, yes, that is good, dude. And then the other guy's like, okay. Feeling above average because I'm a savage. And he's like, oh. And then like the last guy came in with like, I got it. And he's like, what did he say? He was like, hang on, I got to think of a rhyme. Feeling phantasmagorical because I'm Professor McGonagall from Hogwarts, the school of witchcraft and wizardry, because I'm a something. All right, that one, maybe that's why they went with feeling good like I should, because it's simple. You know, you don't need a Professor McGonagall reference in your song. It's pretty obscure. Man, I'm a good songwriter, I've just realized. I mean, because that's all songwriting is, isn't it? It's just professional rhyming. That's what they should say. Oh, I'm actually, you know, you start off like, I've gone pro at rhyming lately. Like, really? Yeah, I'm a professional rhymer. That's pretty much all rapping is. You're just rhyming, but on a pro level. You know, say if you're like writing for someone, you know, like, yeah, I know I started off back in the day just doing some haikus, or they don't rhyme, do they? That's just, no, never mind. Just doing some basic poetry, roses are red, violets are blue stuff. And then I upgraded into rap, you know, which is like just rhyming anything with anything. And even if you can't rhyme it, you just do what most rappers do and just rhyme like dick with dick or whatever. And that's a fucking hit these days. And then eventually you just like, yeah, now I'm professional rhyming for Nicki Minaj. And I just, you know, my anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. And that's 3 rhymes. None, buns, and huns. That's why that dude's a pro. You know what? Not dude. It's probably like 8 fucking people wrote that song. I bet if you look up that song, it's like 40 people in the writing credits. There's like 8 producers, and they were all in a room and were like, and I kinda don't want none unless you got funds, hon. And they're all like, yes, this took maximum brain capacity to think of. We are the top of the food chain. And after thousands and thousands of years of evolution of our species, that is the result. Yes. And then they took the afternoon off and got iced lattes, because that is what probably happened. So yeah, that's sick, isn't it? That's cool. Did you see Nicki Minaj in Tekashi 6ix9ine or Takeshi, whatever the fuck his name is? Takeshi. Takushi's 6ix9ine video. Sex position man who's got a ankle bracelet on and is filming film clips in his bedroom. Dude, Tekashi 6ix9ine's production quality is almost like mine. I mean, there's no excuse. I could be getting 14 million views in 1 hour, okay? Because he's also filming shit in his bedroom. So what's my excuse? That dude's straight up killing it. What a comeback. I do want to do a video on Tekashi or Takeshi's 6ix9ine, whatever the fuck, his comeback. I do want to do a video on it because I just think I'm fascinated with this man. I can't work out if people like him or not. Do people actually listen to that shit and go like, yes. Yes. Oh, man. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, I'm fucking all of the above because I'm listening to this. Like, what's the vibe there? I don't understand that. I think everyone is like me. I like to think that everyone watching it is like me and is just fascinated. I don't hate it. I'm not hating at all. I think it's actually fucking amazing. I think that actually is the peak of human evolution. We've just gone full circle. We're back now at caveman shit. We've just, we started off and we're like, we're all grunting at each other, right? And then, we evolved into like humans, whatever. And then we like got good haircuts. Then we all went to war, but then we all evolved from that, right? And then we invented the internet and we're like, okay, cool. And then, I've been in that, people are going to space. We're killing it as a species, right? We're exploring the universe. We're expanding our minds. And then all of a sudden we had a blip. It's like, oh, fuck, what's that? Oh, that's the Backstreet Boys. Uh-oh, we've gone backwards. Uh-oh. We are descending as a race, whatever the word is. I don't even know the word because our education system is getting fucking worse, right? And I don't know how to describe how much we've unevolved. Unevolved is not the right word. Devolved? Guys, I'm stupid. I'll continue trashing this man about being stupid while I can't even fucking speak. So, right, we're coming around, and then this is where we start going backwards, right? We start allowing boy bands to become too big, right? The Janoskians became a thing, right? And everyone's like, you are my best friend. You are my fucking best friend. And Lewis Spears was the only person in the world that hated on it at the time, right? And everyone else was like, this is sick. And then there's going to be people in the comments who, no, I hated them. Oh, fucking cool. And then we get round, right? And then all of a sudden, there's this guy who looks like Predator, but a rainbow version, right? This human fucking Skittle of a person. He just looks like a pack of Skittles. And we were like, oh, mumble rap, what's this? And then like Lil Pump gets big. And then we're like, and then all of a sudden, we all just start allowing this to happen. We just start listening to it. We're like, oh, man, maybe this is music now. And then this is where we hit full circle when this guy invites Nicki Minaj over to his house because he's got an ankle bracelet on, right? Because he's still supposed to be in prison. And she just has her tits out in the video. And 14 million people, me included, I'm part of the problem, in the first hour go, I want to watch this now. And I did. And it was fascinating. And right there, as I realized, it was like halfway through the video, Nicki Minaj has no bra on. Her big tits, they're so big, man, just flopping about. Fuck, they're huge. I'm sorry, I know you're not supposed to speak about women like that, but that's her fault. I wasn't the one who was like, Nicki Minaj nudes. I was like trying to watch her art, and then she was like, fuck that. Boing, 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 boing. Right? She's not wearing a bra. They are. Dude, to the point where like it will be bad on her back. They look heavy. Like, it looks like you could get jacked just going under Nikki's, like, chest, right? And then just going, duh, duh. Just fucking getting swole. That's some proper well gym shit. Tekashi's probably jacked. Just, like, lifting up those big boys. Man, it's a real credit to whoever makes her bra straps, because, god damn, that is a lot of support. She must have to get scaffolding under that shit. Wow. Anyway, you need to go watch it. I can't describe it. I can't even put in the video because I don't understand how that's allowed on YouTube. She just has little stars over her tits and is literally flopping them about. Like, she could probably take out a small group of children with that level of force, you know? Like, I'm not saying she would, right? That wouldn't be great. Probably not a great metaphor. I could have said, you know, a bunch of little people. What's the correct term? Dwarf? I don't know. Fuck, this also isn't boding well for me. Whatever, guys. Her tits are huge. And it's crazy. And you just need to go watch this video. It's fascinating. The song is about nothing. The song is just about how everyone hates on him. But I don't think people do hate on him. Because this isn't hate, what I'm doing right now. It's just, maybe I admire him. I don't know what I feel. I'm fascinated. It's kind of like when I watch the History Channel. And, yeah, you know, because it is bad. It's like, here's the thing. I'm not calling him a Nazi, by the way, but I'm saying it's like when you watch one of those World War II documentaries and you watch about all the horrible shit that humans did to one another. And you're like, man, this is so fascinating, but I don't condone this. You know, you're interested in it. I've always been fascinated in war. I love war films. I don't know why. It just really interests me. And at not one point do I go, this is okay. That's how I feel when I watch one of Takeshi's 6ix9ine videos. I just go, this is not okay. But I cannot stop watching at all. I'm glued. I think I might be his biggest fan. I clicked so fucking quick when it came up on my recommended. I was like, oh, I just smashed it, man. And then it was crazy. So I'm going to do a video on it. I don't want to talk about it too much because I already just have. Okay, I'm fascinated. I'm going to do a video on it, but dude, it's wild. Because I just couldn't stop writing jokes about it. Like, I just opened up another document and was watching it and I just started scribbling. I didn't realize I was writing a video. I just had to tell someone. So I just wrote it in a diary. I was like, her tits are huge. And I didn't even have enough fucking space to write how many U's are needed to describe Nicki Minaj's boobs. I want to know if they're fake or not. Someone let me know. I assume they're fake. Or maybe, I don't know. Because they look... I don't know. They look real, but they're also like, I don't know. They're like balloons. They're bigger than my head. It's very confusing. I don't know. So I'm assuming they're fake, but man, if they aren't, wow. A credit to her spine for fucking hoisting those bad boys up every goddamn day. I wouldn't get out of bed if I had tits that big. I'd be like, not today. Got to rest my tits. Anyway, guys, I'm feeling good like I should. And it's been a good week. Meg's back, thank God, which is good. Man, I realized when Meg was in hospital, so she found out she has a heart condition. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't know how much she wants people to know, but she's just got a thing that she's monitoring. And yeah, and she also said thank you very much for the people who sent her very kind messages during the week. That was very nice of you all. This community is fucking delightful. Which is surprising because I've just talked about how big Nicki Minaj's tits are for 10 minutes, and yet you guys are all lovely people. So you just must have corrupt minds. But it's great to have you here. Yeah, so Meg's out of hospital and picked her up yesterday morning. And man, I missed her so much. Oh, I missed her so much. I didn't realize how much fun we had together until she was gone. That's like one of those real, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, you know, a real paved paradise, put up a parking lot situation, you know, you don't know what you got till it's gone, you paved paradise, put up a parking lot, you know, that actually is good songwriting. Great analogy. They just deforest shit and then build ugly shit on it. Perfect. I didn't realize how much fun we have together. She's so much fun. She's the best girlfriend ever. Hey, guys. Brr. My girlfriend's better than yours. That's it. That's the way it is. She's so much fun. Man, we just have fun, like cutting the veggies or like doing the dishes. We just saw a shit meme. And then when she wasn't there, I just started calling her, and because she was like in doctor's appointments and seeing, getting better, I felt like I was annoying her, so I didn't want to call her as much. So then I started calling Keelan, and we're like chatting about stuff, and Keelan's great, but I don't want to fuck him. So it's just, she's so much fun. Makes the best. And that's it. I just wanted to brag about how my girlfriend's prob's better than yours. And that's pretty arrogant stance to take. It's a hot take for sure. But yeah, you might think, no, Luke, my girlfriend's better. I think my girlfriend is. You'll find. She's a lot of fun. And I only realized that when she was gone. I was like, I have fun 24/7. And it's usually because of her. And then she left and I was like, I'm having fun, not as much. Now I'm just washing the dishes by myself. This is not as fun. Great, chucking a podcast. That's fun. But, not as fun as just that bant that was going around. So yeah. Also tonight, Meg and I are doing, if I get this podcast out by tonight, Saturday night, we are doing Zoom beers. 3rd annual. If you missed tonight's one because you listen to this late, don't worry. We do it like once a month. Okay, tonight's theme it's just for people on my Patreon Discord, by the way. Tonight's theme is hat themed. Pretty low level of entry. You've just got to come in with a hat. Novelty hats are great. Shit hats are even better. And if you have the Cat in the Hat, that hat, you win. Because that's the best hat in the goddamn world. It's the hat from the Cat in the Hat. It's the cat's hat. It's a movie about a cat wearing a hat and you own the hat. That is an unbeatable hat, in my opinion. Other favorites would be a Gandalf wizard hat, sorting hat from Harry Potter, very famous hat. What else? Yeah, I don't know. For example, like if we were doing backpack themed, if you came in with Dora the Explorer's backpack, you win, because that's just like a notable backpack that we all know and love. But it's not backpack themed. Maybe next month will be backpack themed. I don't want to reveal what hat I'm going to wear, but all I'm going to say is, okay, I'll give a clue. That clue gives it away. All I'm going to say is, this hat would be okay with getting muddy. Because that's my clue. Because I do have a hat planned. And that's it, guys. So Patreon tonight, if I get this out, if you happen to be listening before then. Otherwise, Patreon has been really helping us both get through all this, Meg and I, and because she obviously helps with the podcast. She does a lot of editing. She's sending out merch and stuff. So it's definitely like a team effort. It's helping keeping this all going. And it's so cool that I haven't had to get another job. I've been speaking to a few other comedians. They're like, wait, so are you like working at Woolies or anything? I'm like, no, it's very, very fortunate that I have an awesome community around me that supports what I do. And I know I've been a bit slack on the video front lately. Meg's been in hospital for 2 weeks, but I'm back on it. I'm going to be doing a video on Takeshi69 this week. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So, woohoo! What else did I want to talk about? Let's talk about how dumb I am, right? I did it again. I did it. I completed. I feel like I clocked, a game of how to be a simpleton 101. And I've just like clocked, give me the sequel, all right? Because I've finished that game. You might remember a few months ago, Meg came on the podcast with me and we told a story about us locking ourselves out of our own home. And you were probably thinking, that is some classic Luke shit. I wouldn't do that because I've got a brain on my head. Well, just like the Empire, I fucking striked back. I did it again. I do not take no for an answer. No, I do not take being whatever. I'm an idiot. I locked myself out of my house again and had no one to help me this time. Had no way of getting back in. I had to embarrassingly call my real estate agent. Last time, I left a window slightly ajar and we essentially broke into our own home. We used a knife. We cut the fly wire, had to replace it. It was a whole thing. It ended up being expensive. There was a trip to Bunnings involved and it was just a pain in the ass. But this time, out of sheer embarrassment of calling my real estate agent, I didn't do it. Like I was like, okay, I want to work this out on my own. So for about 10 minutes, okay, I'll just start from the start. So I'm supposed to be going to do Luke and Lewis, which is we do the show in Frankston. It's like 50 minutes away from where I live, which is annoying. So I'm leaving to go and like I'm supposed to be driving to Ruben's house, right? His guy works on our show if you don't listen. And I'm already like, actually no, let's be honest, I wasn't late. I'm never late. That is very uncharacteristic of me to be 20 minutes late to everything, okay? Would never happen. I'm not going to confirm or deny if I was running 20 minutes late, but I can confirm that I was rushing. So if you want to think, oh, Luke, it sounds like you were running 20 minutes late, like you always are, then fine, that's on you. But all I can say is I was rushing. Maybe I just wanted to be extra punctual. Who knows? I was walking out my door and most people do phone, wallet, keys, and in my case, I do paw. I do a pocket check. Everyone does it. You pat around. You just feel around, and if you're like one of those 40-year-old guys that has a shirt pocket that he uses, you might feel your tit. You know, if you're Nicki Minaj, you might have to fucking go, whoop. Because they're huge. And for audio listeners, I reached really far out in front of me and pretended I had massive knockers. It was a fucking good visual joke. Anyway, I did the pad, but I did it in the wrong order. I was in a rush, so I locked the door, the big wooden door behind me. Most houses have a wooden door, then a fly wire. Locked the wooden door, which I locked myself behind me. And then I was like, great. Next step, should have been the first step, but step 2, check if I've got everything. And I go, phone, fuck yes, nailed it. Luke, you're the man. I'm like, wallet, oh, dude, you are killing it today. Keep up the great work. I was like, paw, oh, man, take the rest of the day off. You are totally on it. And I went, keys. And I didn't feel a jingle. It was just silence. There's nothing better than that. Ting, 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 ting. And you're like, great, I got him. There was nothing. I just went, keys. And I was like, it was almost like a roll call. I was like, keys. Excuse me, keys. Keys. And I even checked my back pocket. Why would they be in my back pocket? I never put anything in my back pocket. Then I checked my hoodie pocket, that one in the middle, this one, right? I was like, keys. I was like, okay, I've done fucked up. I have done fucked up here. And Meg is not here to save me because at this point she was still in hospital. And I went, okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. I might have left the window open again. I can break it. I've broken in once. I can break in again. I might be getting good at it. At this point, I'm pretty much a thief of my own home. I'm a burglar. So I was like, I've got skills. You know, I got a sharp object. It would have been great to use my keys to break in, but I didn't have them. I was like, I can find a stick in the backyard. That's fine. Didn't leave a window open. I was too goddamn on it earlier in the day. I closed all the windows. I locked up everything. I was just on fire until this one moment. Now, the reason why I was hesitant to call my real estate agent is because my real estate agent is a girl that I went to high school with. Now, I already know she thinks I'm an idiot because she has to read my emails about, oh, Luke, your rent's late. And it's never because I don't have the money. It's always just because I forget or something comes up and I'm like, oh, yeah. That's just like my vibe, you know? I'm the guy you've got to keep tabs on if you're going into business with me because I'm unreliable, right? That's why I was rushing. That's why I often lock myself out of my house. It's kind of just part of my whole vibe. It's like, oh, he's cool and he's fun and he's a bit too chilled. That's kind of my thing. And so I was like, I really didn't want to call her because I was like, oh, this is just not going to bode well for me at all because this is, firstly, it's not the first time, but they don't know about the first time. And I was like, she's already inspected my house. There was probably mess and stuff when she came over. I was like, look, she just doesn't. I felt like I was like, I don't want someone I know to judge me for this because this is a really stupid thing to do. So then I paced around my front yard for a bit. I'm like, come on, Luke. This has been, you're a pro rhymer. This has been years and years and years of human evolution. Use your big Homo sapien brain to come up with a solution that doesn't involve admitting you fucked up, right? Because that's what everyone does in that situation. I was like, what? Me take the blame for my own for my own problem? No, we'll never take responsibility. How dare you? I gave in. I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do. I'm already running late. I texted Ruben. I was like, I'm fucked up. I've got to go to my real estate agent. So I called them up. She was like, I'm working from home at the moment. I can't drop them off because they have a spare key, obviously. And I was like, I'm going to have to walk there. So it's like I estimated a 20-minute walk to my local real estate agent from our place. And I cannot confirm or deny, but I'm already in a rush. Was I 20 minutes late? We'll never know. But I called Ruben and he's like, okay, well, I can just come and pick you up. He lives 20 minutes away. Because I was like, yeah, if you just drive 20 minutes, it's going to take me like 40 minutes to walk up and back anyway. And get these keys. And then we had to get stuff from Bunnings. So I was like, I'm going to go to Bunnings, which is closer to my house. So I walked to Bunnings. And then I got what I needed from Bunnings. And then I still had 10 minutes to kill in my backyard while Ruben was coming to pick me up. And it was actually great. I got some weeding done. I briefly continued the weed war. I was out in my backyard and I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to get on top of this. So I pulled up a few new ones that have grown through. There's not too many, but I definitely need to do one more day of catching up. I've definitely got it down to a normal weed problem, by the way, for all you bloody weed heads who are interested. I feel like it's now no longer a problem. It's just a regular weed situation. Still not ideal. There's still weeds in my backyard, but it's not like a pandemic. It was spreading like corona at one point. It was the bloody new weeds every day. And to the point where I gave up and went inside my home. So it was exactly the same. Then I got some weeding done. Also knocked out a few cameos just in the backyard. So if you're one of those people that got a cameo from me of me standing in my backyard, that is what I was doing. I was locked out of my house. So I just thought I'd be productive and, bloody, hey, James, happy birthday, mate. And then roast him or whatever the fuck. I've come around on Cameo, guys. I was talking about this on Luke and Lewis, actually. I've absolutely come around. I really didn't get around it at first. I think it was mainly because the lady who ran the app kept messaging me. And I was like, don't ever message me, okay? You shouldn't have my number. I put it in the app. I thought it was confidential. And then you abused that. We got invited out for dinners and stuff. It was weird. And I think that's what turned me off the app. But I don't know. I've seen a few videos of people reacting to it. I think that's what made me come around. Because at first I was like, oh man, it's just, I feel weird shouting someone out. And I was like, man, it really makes people happy. People film their friends, who they've bought it for, reacting to it, and me, saying some funny shit about them. And they're all pissing themselves. One girl, full burst out crying that I wished her a happy birthday and stuff. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And people really appreciate it. So I've come around on Cameo and there. I never thought I'd say that. That's a big step for me. Okay. Cause I trashed this app hard when it came out, but and it also helps pay the bills. Let's be real. So, if you've got a mate you want me to fucking rip apart, I'll do it. I think another reason why I'm liking it more now is because whenever someone does ask me to do a cameo, it's a lot of fun to write jokes about their friend. People often send me a photo of their friend and be like, oh, here's a picture of him, roast the fuck out of him or her or whatever. And I think I just miss crowd work. I miss seeing something and then quickly going bang, 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 and writing out, 5 funny things you could say or whatever. And I think it's just I like to keep that going. So, that's another reason why maybe I'm enjoying it more. It's just fun to write. It's good. I think my favorite type of comedy is just roasting things. That's why I do the brief music reviews. I just love a good roast. I always, when I was like really young, was fascinated with the Comedy Central roast. I'd just like analyze them, and I always thought roast jokes were really funny for some reason, even because it's just so mean. I love being mean to people, but it's not like I don't hate them. I think that's what some people like forget about comedy. It's like, no, this is just like the most fucked up thing I could think of to say, but deep down I respect you and most probably really like you. Otherwise I wouldn't say it. That's why I love roast jokes, is because it's like, what's something you could hurt someone's feelings but also make them laugh at the same time? It's just funny to me. Anyway, that's why I like roast jokes, guys. So if you want me to fucking rip apart your mate, tear him to shreds, or even just be nice, that's fine. I can do that. Get me on the cameos. It's actually fun. And I'm not like one of those people. Lewis was telling me that like Bam Margera. Like I went on Cameo the other day and I was just looking at other celebrities that stop recording. Hang on. I was looking at other celebrities that are on Cameo, and these people will charge like $300. I charge like 30, okay? Because I don't think that much of myself, all right? I'm not going to sit out there and charge someone $100 for a shout out. God damn. How fucking, you think a lot of yourself if you think you're worth $100, don't you? I'd have to be getting inundated to the point where I couldn't keep up to up the price. Who's someone? Like, I don't know, I went on my homepage. I just want to get someone who will all know. Who's like an A-lister? There's not many. It's mainly people just like me. Featured. I'll just look up Bam Margera because that's what Lewis said. And apparently he just mumbles whatever the fuck. Brandon Novak. Bam Margera. Okay, he's charging $250 US. And apparently he just gives the most dog shit shout outs. So click on the first one. This is for Matthew.
Cause it's your birthday today. Matthew, what up, Matthew? It's Bam Margera. Wish you a happy 23rd birthday on May 6th. What?
Happy birthday!
Yeah, man.
That's it.
It's your birthday today, Matthew.
$250 US for that. He gets interrupted halfway through it and then just gives up and ends it and then goes, that $250, thank you, Wham Bam, because his name's Bam Margera. He's the guy from Jackass, if you don't know who he is. He's a skateboarder. I like Bam on Jackass, and it made me sad that he doesn't give a fuck about these people. Oh, here's another one.
What up, Leanne? It's Bam Margera. I heard you became a kick-ass fitness coach. That's cool. Maybe you can get your lazy husband off the couch now. Anthony Satorsky told me to say that. But keep up the good work. Rock and roll.
15 seconds, bro. I record like a minute. Am I doing them too long? I full on rip into people, you know, like roast my mate. I'm like, yeah, here's everything that sucks about them and here's why. You know, ripped some chick with blue hair the other day on there. Absolutely wrecked her. Said she vapes as well. Pretty sure at one point, what did I call her? Oh, it was brutal. Your friend Joe wanted me to roast your hair, right? And at first I thought, what a dick, right? And then he sent me a picture of your hair. And then I thought, fuck, Lily, you are lucky to have a friend like Joe, okay? You're actually lucky to have a friend. From now on, this is not a roast. This is just an intervention. Like, you are 18, have dyed blue hair. This is a midlife crisis that's happening way too young, all right? I'll be honest, you look like one of those rich people from the Hunger Games. Also, Joe told me that you've started vaping. I mean, the only thing good about that is that it kind of matches the hair. It's like you're trying to be a stereotype. You just must be walking down the street like, oh, fuck, it's a homeless anime chimney. Oh, no, it's Lily. That's all right. My point is, I'm putting in more effort. Maybe I'm putting in too much effort. I put in 5, 6, maybe 10 times the amount of effort than that into my cameos for bloody 10 times less the price. So all I'm saying here, guys, my point is I'm better than Bam Margera. I'm superior at cameo, okay? And that's so funny. Now I kind of want to book a fucking cameo from Bam Margera for the podcast because I think he just reads whatever you write. So like, what could we get him to say? I don't want to pay $250 for a fucking 15-second cameo. It would be funny, but goddamn. All right. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I was still telling the story about how I'm locked out. Guys, I get distracted. Who am I? Bam Margera. Because this story sucks. So I'm knocking out some cameos. I had to wait for Ruben to come pick me up. I'm still locked out of my house like an idiot. Ruben comes. He's loving it. He's having a great time. I'm going like, we're best friends. Oh, by the way, I've skipped a massive part in the story. So at first, I started walking to the real estate agent before Ruben started coming. I just blatantly just started walking, and I've oh man, I have to go find my camera roll. I'm walking to the real estate agent thinking that like Ruben is not coming at this point because he took a while to reply. So I just start walking from my house, and again, I'm pretty lonely. Meg's not around. I got no one to complain about this to. And whenever I get into situations like this, I'd never ever like get angry. I'm just like not that type of person. I get angry at little shit, you know. I'll stub my toe, and I'm like, it's the end of the fucking world, okay? I'll misplace something, and I'm like, here we go. It's on. Me versus anything. Fuck you. But when something big happens that's a massive inconvenience, I just think it's hilarious, right? I don't know, that's my brain. My brain works like that. I will like make myself an hour late to something that's really important and be like, lol, classic Luke, done it again. Woohoo! We're all having fun. So I just start sending Meg these videos of me walking.
I'm walking down the street cause I gotta get keys because I got a small brain and this is what I wanted to do with my day.
So that's kind of where I was at during this. Meg wasn't replying, so I just kept going.
I was already 20 minutes late. Now I am an hour and 20 minutes late. I have a tiny brain. It's so tiny. It's so small.
So tiny. Yes, it is. I have a microscopic brain. It matches my penis. Woo! So I'm a psychopath at this point. I'm walking along the side of the road singing about how small my brain was. So I've hit a point of delirious at this point of the story. I think there's another one maybe. I kept going. I was pretty bored.
Incy wincy Luke Brain locked the keys in the house. Incy wincy Luke Brain didn't think about anything ever. I forgot the song.
So that's where I was at emotionally at that point. Not in a great state. Singing a parody of Incy Wincy Spider about my Incy Wincy little brain that didn't think before he locked the door. And I could see the keys on the coffee table the whole time. I can see the key. Do you know how frustrating that is when you lock the door and then just turn around and be like, I can see them. They're right there, but I'd have to smash glass in a rental property to get them. How annoying. So anyway, Ruben finally agrees to pick me up. What a bloody legend. He's having none of it when I get there, right? He's just, because he's had to drive 20 minutes each way. So 40 minutes out of his way to come get me because I have an incy wincy brain. And anyway, guys, I went and got the keys. He had to drive me to the real estate agent. Then it was a whole thing. And that's it. That's the story. Look, it doesn't end well, okay? It's a bit of a stinker of a story, but that's it. That's the way it goes, unfortunately. Sometimes there's just no good end. Sometimes that's life. Sometimes life doesn't have a good end, you know? That sounded pretty morbid. I wasn't talking about death. I was just saying sometimes... Why did Meg message me? Sorry, guys. Meg messaged me and I got really distracted then. Who am I? Bloody Bam Majera? God, I feel like I'm recording a fucking cameo right now. Anyway, that's the end of the story. I got locked out and then the next day I returned the keys. And everyone was pretty disgruntled at me for getting to Luke and Lewis late. Oh, not really. We blame Ruben 100% because I do not take responsibility for my actions. If you're out there and you're listening to this and you're even thinking of admitting fault today, don't. That's how I do it. It loses you friends. Yes. What else? Oh, guys, last week, if you didn't hear last week's pod, I came up with the idea of the century. Okay, I said on last week's podcast there should be a class in year 9 called Shut the Fuck Up. And the point of this class is when you're at that age, 14 to 15 years old, there comes a time in your life where you start to talk, and you see this a lot on social media. You see it a lot on TikTok now because that's where they all are, just fucking lips flapping about like no tomorrow. They're just, that's all I see, just a lot of chat and not a lot of, and I thought I would get a little bit of pushback from at least the Year 9 community, maybe some other people. I thought a few people would call me out saying, Luke, you're a hypocrite. You never shut the fuck up. And that would have been fair. But no one did. People just thought this was a great idea. It was pretty much 100% unanimous. It was across the board. Everyone was going, I think Luke solved education. I think I did mention earlier in the podcast that there was an education slump, I thought. I definitely think that, iPads are taking over, and I don't know. Actually, that's a discussion for a different period. Who knows if kids are going to be dumber after all this? Because now, kids just have iPads in grade 2. I wonder if that makes them smarter. I think it just makes them better at different things. I don't know. Because, there's no reason to learn long division anymore. Guys, that's not the point. We'll talk about that another time. The point is, Year 9s need to shut the fuck up. Now, I had some correspondence, and I was going to read it out. Had a correspondent from a Year 9. Now, when I first saw this pop up in my DMs, I thought, here we go. There's going to be some level of pushback towards this idea. How wrong I was. Came from a girl. I did forget to write down her name because I just copy-pasted it into my notes. But she said, hey, Luke, as the Year 9 student leader of my school, I was very inspired by this week's podcast. Next time I'm speaking to them as a cohort, I'll definitely advise them to shut up and hopefully delete Instagram. I realize this may make me seem like a hypocrite, but you win some, you lose some. And then she sent a shaka emoji as well. So she did a fat pop at the end, which was a pretty cool way to end it. And the reason why she said she may seem like a hypocrite is because she did send me that message on Instagram. But I think it's great that there is Year 9s acknowledging the problem. Now, this came after a couple of Year 9s told me that that people were just getting annoyed that I was doing Shaka's Day last week. And I feel like I did it in quite a sensitive manner to what is going on in the world right now. And a few people apparently had a problem with it, and then I realized, they were all woke Year 9 kids, and that's where I came up with the idea. And I guess if you didn't hear that podcast, it'd just be like a class where you get in there, so you do some English in the morning, maths, humanities, and then after lunch, you just go in and do an hour and a half of shut the fuck up. And you get in there, the teacher's like, all right, today we're learning why to shut the fuck up, how to shut the fuck up, and then in tomorrow's class, we'll be going over the 4 basic principles of silence, which is shut the fuck up. And that's all you have to learn. And, dude, people would come out of that class way, way more equipped for the world than before they went in. If I was a parent, right, of a 14, 15-year-old, right, say my son or daughter came home, it's like, how's your day? They were like, oh, great, learned about the French Revolution and history. I'd be like, oh, awesome. How was that? They'd be like, fucking brutal. I'd be like, yeah, so I remember that briefly. I didn't retain much, though. And what else? We learned how to write an essay about Romeo and Juliet in English. Oh, great. What a waste of time. Good. And then we learned about atoms and science. I'd be like, oh, cool, are you going to be a scientist? They'd be like, no. I'd be like, cool, what a waste of time. And then they'd be like, oh, and also then period 4, we learned how to shut the fuck up. And I'd be like, oh, really? Well, you mustn't have paid fucking attention then, because here you are coming home flapping about, all right? Go to your bedroom, think about what you've done. Don't say it. Think about what you learned in period 4. Shh. And that's parenting, ladies and gentlemen. That is why I'd nail it. All right? I should adopt someone when they're 13, and they're just, hey, I need to enroll you in a class, my friend. I should teach the class, actually. I should be Professor Fuck Up. This is like, excuse me, Mr. Fuck Up. I'm sorry. Fuck up. That's a good one, man. I would be great at teaching that class. you get in there, the bell would ring, like, and the class begins. Or you ding, 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 ding. Now, just some like light paper, just like rumbling in the background like this. And I'll be like, I'm sorry. And then we'll go silent again. And then a few minutes later, you just hear. Do you guys want to stay in at recess? Huh? Is that what you want? And then it would just go dead silent again. I'd be like, great. May I remind you all that this is shut the fuck up. Not history, not science, not legal studies, not maths. You are here to learn the most important skill that a 15-year-old can learn. Silence. Carry on. 10 minutes later. It's someone passing a note to each other. Was that a note? Oh, no. Hey! What did I tell ya? Oh, I meant, no, it wasn't a note. It fucking better have been, because that's silent. And then the kids go, oh, fuck yeah, we're allowed to send her our notes. And then they start going, do it silently. Guys, I don't know where this bit's going. It's just like the lockout story. It has no end. The point is, and if you can take anything away from this podcast ever, it's that sometimes, and think about this when you're on the internet, sometimes just before you say something, and I do it too. This is why I don't comment on fucking things ever, because sometimes my brain just goes, shh. And I'm like, oh, good call, brain. I'm not going to say anything. And that's why I don't argue with people on Facebook. It's why I don't message people. It's why you just don't spread negativity. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about, I know this obviously started about me, because I had some work 15-year-olds, but my main point is I'm just trying to help the internet community in general. I mean, I think there'd be a lot of comment sections that would be improved if this class was taught worldwide. Guys, I'm going to stop talking about this. So yeah, oh, hang on, just gotta have an obnoxious slurp. If I was in a year 9 right now, I'd be failing. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, sorry, I was slurping obnoxiously. Okay, I've got one more update, and then we'll end the podcast. It's been a good one today. I felt this, guys. I felt alive. I felt good during it. Hope you've enjoyed it. I think we peaked at me bench pressing Nicki Minaj's tits, and it was a slow decline from there. But I feel like there was a few highs in there. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Bam Margera TikToks. No, cameos. That would be good, though. If Bam Margera made a TikTok, he'd just be like, hey, and then get distracted halfway through and just go, fuck it, and upload it anyway. We need to do an update on the Wheat Bix. So the crushed Wheat Bix saga. Last week, if you didn't hear, I sent a message on the podcast to one of my high school friends that I hadn't spoken to in about 6 years. And the last time we'd spoken on Facebook was in 2018. She messaged me, good luck for my comedy festival show. So it was definitely an out of the blue message. And the reason why I messaged her was because pretty much every single time I have Wheat Bix, which is like 5 days a week, I think about every morning when I pour them in that one time in year 9, my friend Jamie from high school, she told me that her dad likes the crushed up bit of Wheat Bix at the bottom. And I just cannot get this information out of my brain. I did some maths. Turns out I've thought about this over 2,600 times since that day. And that's why I can't remember and retain stuff about the French Revolution, because I did learn a bunch of stuff in school, like how to speak correctly, a bunch of different things, how to use big words, but all I remember is the thing about Jamie's dad's crushed Weet-Bix. Now, I've never even met her dad. I just know that there's this figure in her life that just likes the crush bit, and it just disturbs me to this day. It's like baby food. If you're from overseas, Weet-Bix crushed up is no one's idea of a good breakfast, okay? It's sloppy, it's weird, and I think I did feel a little bad. I think at one point I did call her dad a psychopath. I don't think it's that far, but there were a few people in the comments last week that were also affected by people in their lives enjoying the crushed up part of the Weet-Bix, which I wish upon no person and their families, okay? Obviously, pretty traumatic stuff if this does directly involve you, and I'm sorry that this might be triggering. You're like, Luke, my parents actually enjoy the crushed up bit, and I prefer you didn't remind me, but the truth hurts. Kurt said, what if it turns out that Jamie's dad actually never liked the crushed up bits and she just made it up? That would be a shocker. Now I do have a result, by the way. Jack said, shut the fuck up class is great. It should be put into the curriculum straight away for all levels prep to 12. Now that is the kind of positive response that I wasn't expecting. So that's the thing. People were so supportive of this shut the fuck up class that, you know, that they think it should be a school-wide thing. When you prep, when you prep, you shouldn't even be learning swear words, but maybe that's one you should be learning, is you can only use it in the context of if you're shutting up. Teaching a 5-year-old to shut up might cause some psychological damage later on in life. I think by year 9, they've learned how to talk, and then you need to pull that back and go, now you need to learn how to not talk sometimes. Hang on. Someone said all Bix matter. I disagree. I personally, that's one thing where I guess maybe I'm not that progressive about is my Weet-Bix consumption. I feel like most of the time I sit on like a left wing type area on, particularly, and often I don't get political on this show, but with Weet-Bix, that's a hot take. I do not think all Bix matter. I think crushed Bix are baby food, and if you're eating them, you're either for Jamie's dad or a maniac, and that's it. Hang on, someone said that was a really good take on the Bix. I forget. Oh yeah, this Chicken Mick Gary said, my dad is also a crushed Bix man, and I'm embarrassed to be related to him. So that's the kind of thing that we're dealing with here. People not happy to be associated with people who like crushed up Bix. Now, I'm obviously very anti that. I think that is pretty much the Jats of ways to consume your Bix. It is not what you should be consuming. Don't put that in ya. It's just sloppy and weird. Now, I sent Jamie a message, crafted it on last week's podcast. She did get back to me about her dad's Weet-Bix consumption, because I know we're all hanging for an answer. So don't worry, I've got it. So I said, just to recap, hey Jamie, hope you're well. Now this is the first message I've sent her in a long time. Was just wondering if your dad still likes the crumbs at the bottom of his Weet-Bix. I think about this fairly often after we discussed it once in year 9. Now she replied with, hey man. So like 4 E's. So she's weirded out by my message. That's her trying to soften how weird this is, going, hey, why the fuck are you messaging me? But that's okay. So great to hear from ya. This made me laugh so much. Okay, so she's not too super weirded out by it. She's okay with it. She said, yeah, Dad still froths the Weet-Bix crumbs. He still crushes them up every morning for the classic soggy Weet-Bix brekkie. I personally think this is ridiculous and have to smash my Weet-Bix while they still have some crunch and avoid the sogginess altogether. But each to their own, eh, mate? Anyway, how you going these days? And then we just started chatting. But that is the answer to the the massive cliffhanger that we were left on last week. Jamie's dad does still crush his Weet-Bix. And I think this is worse for me because now I'm going to think about that even more. I'm still going to be thinking about every time I have Weet-Bix now, going, well, great. Now I think about that. Get this, I've ruined it for you guys as well. Someone messaged me who has no idea who Jamie is, just a guy who listens to this podcast, he messaged me during the week going, great, man. Now every time I have Wheat Bix, all I think about is Jamie's dad from high school, from your high school, crushing up his Wheat Bix. And he goes, I've thought about that all week. So now I've fucked your guys' lives now, and you're going to end up like me, just with useless shit in your brain like that you think about every single day for no reason. So yeah, now I can guarantee next time you have Wheat Bix, you'll be like, man, Jamie's dad likes them crushed. You don't even know who Jamie is. She's lovely, right? And her dad's probably lovely too. Just hate the way he consumes his Bix. So anyway, guys, that's pretty controversial end to the show to anyone who likes a crushed Bix, but happy to do it to ya. Okay? That's what gets people talking, man. Controversial shit. Other comedians will maybe post about political stuff that's going on. I mainly do food politics. That's where I feel more comfortable. It's also where I'm an expert in. And yeah, I feel like I have some pretty right-wing food views that I'm happy to bring out. You know, one of those is I like my Wheat Bix segregated, all right, from the crushed shit. And that's it. And I'm happy to say that, okay? All Bix do not matter. Fuck off with your soggy Wheat Bix baby food Bix. Guys, I'm out. That's a hot take. Man, it feels good to be controversial again. It really does. I mean, it was an edgy start bench pressing Nicki Minaj's fake tits, but ended it on a bloody hot note. Real spicy stuff. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. If I get this out before tonight, I should get the audio out. Hopefully the video. We'll be doing Zoom beers tonight until the late evening. And yeah, heaps fun. Thank you very much for listening, and tell a friend. And that's it. Woohoo!